Hey everybody, welcome back. Yolanda had to bail because she kind of sucks. But sitting in for her, don't tell her I said that, she'll beat my ass. Sitting in for her though is good friend of the show, good friend of me, of course, everybody knows that. Ben Gordon, formerly of the program with Matt and Ben. He's retired now. Hi Ben.
Mm. Yes, I'm retired forever, etc., etc. You really don't have a high opinion of the company you keep. You're bad-mouthing your regular co-host. You're bad-mouthing the guy filling in. What kind of company do you keep?
Give me a second to give a terrible introduction to the guest.
Of course.
Right? Okay.
Well, that's what we're all here for, the terrible introduction.
Yeah.
I feel like I gave him
I came to be labeled a rapist.
What?
That's what I'm here for.
Okay. Well, I gave him
I was hoping you could get me. I was hoping you could get me associated with Megan's Law in some way.
This self-proclaimed rapist.
No, you have to proclaim it. If I proclaim it, then people are gonna think that I'm just bragging. But if you proclaim it, they might take me seriously.
Listen, you got accomplishments. You got to brag about it. Although if it's Megan's Law, you kind of have. Although if it's Megan's Law, you kind of
you are required by law to brag about it door to door, within the confines of your community.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to let you know I'm a big fan of something that I probably shouldn't tell you about, but I kind of have to. If you want to know more, come see me in that house over there.
The one with the boarded up windows.
And the white van in the driveway.
Yeah.
So now that we're several minutes into the show, let's introduce. He is a deathmatch icon. He was 2013's Guest of the Year.
Ben Gordon? I feel like I would have met him by now.
I mean, listen, people.
I think people are just throwing the word icon around willy-nilly these days. It doesn't stand for anything anymore. Used to be an icon, you had to be John Zandig dressed up as the Ultimate Warrior. But now, anyone can be a goddamn icon.
All I got to do to be an icon is fill in on my friend's podcast at the last minute,
That's right, and replace whatever your Christian given middle name is with F''N. That's all that's required.
Oh my god! This is already hurtling out of control.
I knew this was going to fall apart immediately. You never should have introduced us before you started recording. It all went to pot.
I really shouldn't have. Oh my god! And yet I still haven't introduced you. So I think we should. I kind of feel like we should just go the rest of the show and never not mention your name.
Well, now that I've been deemed a rapist, it's probably for the best. Let's keep my name well away from this broadcast, because I have enough unsavory personal characteristics that I don't need to really add that one to the list.
Today's podcast guest name has been withheld for the benefit of the innocent.
There's a big blue dot over his face right now.
Yeah.
He's a Megan's Law icon.
That's how I like to think of myself, yes. I went above and beyond. I'm not just a Megan's Law, candidate. I'm an icon in that field.
He's an icon in the rapist community.
A Megan's Law icon, a multiple-time statutory champion.
I'm glad my mom doesn't know what a podcast is. I could get awkward at Christmas.
So we heard something about you. We didn't really get to hear this from you, but, we heard of this podcast. Oh, God, here we go.
Oh, God. So, how have you been?
Well, I'm better than my worst and worse than my best, What else can you do?
That works. That works. Oh, fuck. All right. I have no...
I have a sneaking suspicion that you are lacking direction once again.
Shockingly enough, I am.
Listen, just follow the meticulously prepared notes that you've clearly prepared in front of you and go on to the next topic.
Yeah.
Don't.
Reference the whiteboard. Come on.
Hey, I actually had notes the last time.
Yeah, just a fat lot of good they
I
did
was
it.
going to say, look how well that worked out.
I thought you were investing in some dry erase markers and a series of whiteboards around the room. It's going to look like an FBI surveillance lineup of breakdown of mob characters.
It is.
It's going to have a whole bunch of little push pins with strings attached, and that's the only way to conduct an interview with me. You're going to have to jump around a lot, so.
It is.
Well, listen, if she's going to clear your name from all the Megan's Law stuff, I mean, we got to find out who gave you that. I mean,
Right. Who exactly was responsible?
See, at like 5 minutes before I started talking to you, I'm talking to Ben, and I'm like, okay, so these are the only things I have to talk about. He's like, so what are we going to talk about? Well, boom, Megan's Law.
Right, off the bat. I always come prepared with some predetermined topics that my advisors have given me. You know, like, well, listen, if things get heated in there and it gets a bit awkward, you know, you don't want to look foolish. So just jump to Megan's Law. That's a clear way of getting out of any danger.
Your advisors, huh? Who can I ask? Who,
Oh yeah,
can I ask who
I have an army. I have an army of aides at my beck and call. You know, I got a little earpiece, constantly they're piping in things like, "Admit you're a drug user. Talk about rape." And it's incredible how my position in the social community has skyrocketed since.
and not only that, but make sure you get the topic out before she says your name.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure so far I haven't been indicated in anything.
No, you have not been identified in any. Well, as far as anybody listening, you're talking to Zandig.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah,
listen,
let's blame Zandig for all this shit.
This is also there to protect. It's also here to protect him, because if it goes that bad, he can clearly disavow any knowledge of what the hell this show is.
That's plausible deniability, my friend, and I learned about that at the age of 14. So I'm well versed in that realm.
and yet here you are again. So
Yeah, right.
Circle of life.
I'm just begging. I'm begging to be caught. I'm one of those serial killers that goes back to the scene of the crime and stands around in his bloody trench coat, just like, so, any leads? He got a hand in his pocket. You know.
Oh my god.
A belt made of entrails. No, it's fashionable in Mexico. No, it's nothing to do with your case.
how did you find me? Oh, nothing, just this trail of evidence that you happen to lead right to you. What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
So anyway, pro wrestling and whatnot.
Oh yeah, apparently you're a wrestler. Rumor has it. I don't know.
So he's definitely wait a minute. So he's definitely a rapist, and he's possibly a wrestler. I don't think you did a good job of research.
They're trying to pin me down. Stop snitching, yo. Stop snitching.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to pigeonhole you. You do many other things.
I will not be typecast. I'm whatever the fuck I want to be.
You are many other things besides a wrestler. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very accomplished in my way.
You are. You are, and you and your aides are welcome to. That sounded terrible.
You're just batting 1,000 today.
Listen, you leave my poor sexual decisions out of this. None of the public's business with whom I've mistakenly had sex.
It all comes back to Megan's Law, doesn't it?
Although I almost certainly have had mistaken sex, almost across the board, unilaterally. Nothing but mistaken sexual choices.
Mistaken or
But what are you going to do? Accidental is tough. I don't know. That's quite a quick. You got the hard hitting questions now. All of a sudden, they were almost all mistakes. I'd love to say they were accidental, but I'm almost certain that at the time I knew what I was doing.
I like that you never fully commit to any answer.
Yeah.
You know, just in case, you know, you like to leave yourself a little wiggle room. I like that. I can appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah. So
It's all about the plausible deniability.
That's basically it. I have no...
I would like you to know that I would like you to know, and this is I want to get this out. I made the age-old mistake / wonderful choice, depending on how you look at it, of thinking, oh God, I have to talk for some period of time to another human being. I better get drunk. I'll be more interesting. And then that backfired like it does. But I would like you to know, and this is my attempt at paying a compliment. Whether or not it comes out that way is yet to be seen. But I had it in mind that I was not going to do any more interviews because most of them, like most of the sex I've had, in hindsight, were regrettable.
Ended up
entirely too many things were put forth that I didn't like, and as we've discussed in the past, I'm a strange sort of character who is ideally isolationist, and for whatever reason chose a career where people want you to talk all the time. So this is maybe my last interview ever. I don't know if that's the case, but I wasn't going to do it anymore. I had made it was like a New Year's resolution that didn't come at New Year's. So it was just a year's resolution. But I was not going to do any more interviews. I was like, all right, that's enough of that shit. Stop talking. All these fucking creeps on the internet writing sexual fan fiction. I don't know. The whole thing gets weird, and I just don't like it. I just want to distance myself from the whole affair. But I thought, you know what? That Wiggy's all right. She's done a lot of kind things for me. She runs the website so very nicely. She makes sure that people are aware of what's going on with me, and I don't have to, leave the comfort of my rape den. So, uno mas, for the sake of everything, you've very I appreciate what you have done, and therefore this is happening. But I think maybe I will stay away from interviews henceforth. It seems like a bad idea.
Well, I appreciate that very much. And
yeah, it could have been put much more eloquently if I weren't like a bottle and a half of whiskey deep, but you got the idea. You got the gist.
I got the gist. That's and no, thank you, seriously, because you honestly, you were. We have end of the year awards, and you were voted best guest. Everybody loved you the first time around. Your interview.
Well, there's no accounting for taste, is there?
Your interview broke records for listeners.
Broke records.
Yes.
My God, 6 people. 6 people. I'm sorry, that's casting aspersions on your show, and I didn't mean that. I just mean that the people who are generally affiliated with the world that I have chosen to be a part of are horrible troglodytes. But I didn't quite mean that either. Well, I did mean that, but
yeah.
I'm alienating people again, and I'm full tilt on this plan now. Like we discussed it, it was sort of at its inception earlier in the last. And it was like, oh, maybe I'll just really be a cunt to the fans, the people who pay my salary. But now I'm like full in. So
yeah, no holding back anymore.
Nah, those bastards.
I enjoy the fact that you calling them troglodytes on the last show was you holding back.
Yeah, well, that's just that's some people say marks. I think I think that's a little bit demeaning. So I use troglodytes.
You're a beautiful humanitarian.
Yeah. Well, I'm something.
If nothing else, he's expanding our vocabulary.
Sure. We'll go with that.
I would love to think that my legacy in the world of independent pro wrestling had nothing whatsoever to do with how many sharp things I fell on, and in fact, it ends up being that I taught some wrestling related folk some new words. That would be That would be a win for me.
Well,
I would consider that.
On the last show, you became the first person to ever use the word colloquial.
Yes.
See, I did like.
Clearly remember it much better than I do.
I had to listen to it back, but that's besides the point.
Oh, you did your research.
I did research. I did.
Wow, you got Mike Burns beat by a mile.
I for one am shocked
and I'm not
that you put any foresight into anything.
Well, I have him beat.
Good effort. Good effort.
I have him beating research. He has me beating child molestation.
Yeah, that we'll admit to.
Wait, was that a
But
shot
by
at me
only
or
by
at
the
him?
slimmest of margins.
Wait a minute. When did they become children? I feel like you're putting words in my mouth. I remember alleging that I was a rapist, in a joking fashion. But now suddenly I'm a child rapist?
No, Mike Burns is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Oh, my God. What are you watching interviews and stuff? Good Lord. You're referencing all kinds of far-flung things. That was like 10 years ago. I was a fucking 14-year-old child with curly hair when I said that.
Yes, but it was like 2 weeks ago that I posted that video on the website. So there you go.
That's how it works.
Yes.
I see.
I actually.
The internet is a terrible thing where nothing horrible and regrettable that you ever say will ever truly disappear.
No. And apparently neither will fucking
damn
tripod
technology.
websites.
Oh yeah, what the fuck is that about?
I don't know. Tripod is the Scientology of the internet.
I didn't realize those were still existing.
Well, they're holding on. There's a recessive gene that will not allow them to be extinct.
Can we still open up an Angel Fire
You try
page?
and delete them over and over again,
Yeah.
and they just won't.
They won't die.
They won't die?
No. It's in, like 100 years or whatever, if we're lucky, there's going to be a nuclear winter, and afterwards it's going to be like cockroaches, Twinkies, and tripod sites.
Oh, what a utopia we have to look forward to.
And hopefully,
I can't fucking wait.
Hopefully polar bears and grizzly bears fighting each other to the death all over the place.
Well, I'm going to assume that 2 men will enter, 1 man will leave, and Tina Turner will be presiding over the whole affair, and that's good enough for me.
It's quite the future we have to look forward to, isn't it?
Listen, if Tina Turner can make it, I think there's hope for humanity as a whole.
Yeah? That's a bold statement.
You've got a lot more faith than I do. Holy shit.
Well, she made it through Ike Turner, so.
Exactly. She's a survivor. She will be there.
She will survive.
She certainly is.
She's been through a lot. She deserves a chance.
Including that terrible movie.
Would you say that Rihanna and Chris Brown are the new Ike and Tina Turner? Like, does every generation need a black celebrity couple that beats the shit out of each other?
Well,
like,
here's the thing.
Is that a part of our society now?
Here's the thing. Ike and Tina Turner are actually talented.
Right.
So is talent
I suppose, after a fashion. Now, listen, I will have you know that Masada, of all people,
yes,
is the strangest. Been good friends with this gentleman for many a year now. Strangest, most unexpected development in his personal character that I never could have seen this coming. Masada came back up from Texas, and I picked him up at the airport, and we were hanging out the night before TOD, and drinking some beers and doing whatever it is we do. And I say whatever it is we do because I really don't know. I haven't the foggiest memory. But I do know that he is suddenly now a big fan of Chris Brown and made me watch like an hour of YouTube videos. Like, oh, look at this motherfucker! Look at those dance moves! I was like, this is a very unexpected development for you. I did not see this coming.
Was it a little?
I don't think any of us saw that coming.
Like I was totally on board with him when we were sitting at a bar in fucking Port Richmond, Philadelphia, and it was like Slayer, Venom, Pantera, Crowbar, just fucking one after another of like heavy metal, death metal stuff, and then all of a sudden Fast Car by Tracy Chapman came on, and I looked over at him across the bar, and I'm like, oh, looks like you ran out of fucking, credits or whatever. He's like, no, I put this on. This shit's awesome. You don't like this? I'm like, no, I do like this, but I just didn't think you were gonna like it. And then it went like right back to, Slayer. I was all about Tracy Chapman, Fast Car. That's a good fucking song, but I don't know if I can get behind this whole Chris Brown angle.
I feel like we just broke huge news. Huge awkward
news. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said any of that. He's probably gonna beat my ass next time I see him. All right. Well, odds are that Masada, in fact, I know for a fact that Masada is not internet savvy. In fact, perhaps less so than I, which is really saying something. So
what?
He will never know about this unless someone tells him. So all you motherfuckers listening out there, keep your mouths shut, because I don't need to get my ass beat by some fucking Texan who rips people's eyeballs out, calls it a Texas handshake. That's not good. I don't need that.
That's a terrible handshake.
That was a long, involved story too, but I probably shouldn't tell that one for legal repercussions.
It might distract.
Suffice it to say that if you know anyone who rips someone else's eyeball out, that's now called the Texas handshake. So just spread that around, popularize it, and
wow.
in its own way, that will be his legacy.
much like yours is eloquency and rape.
Yes, eloquence and rape.
Nice. Wow. That's creepy as all fuck. And I'm not even sure if I'm talking about the eyeball thing or the Chris Brown thing.
Yes.
The eyeball thing I understand on the level at which it happened. The Chris Brown thing I could never understand.
No. Like, there's no amount of time that's going to make me go, okay, I get it. No. Yeah.
He's probably going to be really mad at me.
Well, listen, I mean, look, everybody's got their one thing that when you hear it about them, it's like, what, you? Really? This? So,
yeah.
I guess...
There's no one from whom I expected that less.
I think it's pretty fair. Everybody who's going to eventually listen to this is going to say the same thing. Wow.
Yeah, well, as long as you don't say it to
Wiggy,
him.
what's...
Man's violent.
Wiggy, what's your one thing?
My one thing? No.
Yeah, because everyone's got that one thing that's like you hear about it, it's like, what, really? You're into that? You got to have something, even if it's something that you don't want to admit. I'm putting you on the spot on your own show, because that's how I roll.
There's nothing about me that surprises people. No matter how weird I say anything, they're like, yeah, okay. And you should know, you're my best friend.
You guys remember the S Club 7? I thought they were pretty good.
S Club 7.
Allegedly, there ain't no party like an S Club party, from what I'm told. And also, it's possible that an S Club party don't stop. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Rumor has it.
I can't confirm nor deny these allegations.
Is it true that they were potentially known for waving their hands in the air and potentially like they do not care?
I think they might not have cared.
Or do care? Do or do not?
I think that they might not have cared. I think they were just that totally disinterested in what, public opinion was. They were just, you know what? We're just gonna wave our hands about. We're totally disinterested in what other people think about it.
As a show.
I mean, those are some pretty strong accusations right there.
Yeah, I know. But fucking come after me. You don't even know who the fuck I am. I haven't even been named once in this whole goddamn interview. Come find me, S Club 7. I'm looking at you, Bradley. You look like the hard one. Fuck you.
Come at him, bro. Oh.
I don't even know any of their names.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Pete and John, but Bradley looks like the hard one.
I have no idea who they are.
Well, you missed out.
I clearly did. Wow. I feel like we just keep getting more and more awkward.
I think that's the whole point of why you bring me on the show, isn't it? I don't think you had any intention of talking about wrestling.
Oh, God, no.
I put it to you that you never actually wanted to discuss this quasi sport that I pretend to do. I think that you just wanted to bring me on for weirdness.
Well, yeah. To the first part, I just,
right.
I wasn't expecting this level of weirdness. I don't bring you on to talk wrestling. We determined that last time. Fuck that shit, man.
Yeah,
Neither one of us want
I don't
anything
know
to do
anything.
with
I don't know anything about it.
Exactly.
Haven't seen it. Don't know how it works. Barely managed to put on a passable display of it on a monthly basis, and even that I'm saying is probably some sort of instinctive reaction to fear in crowds because I never really know where I am anyway. I better wrestle. People are all staring at me. I should suplex something.
I better do something. Look, there's a pile of broken glass. Here, let me fall into it.
Yeah.
That'll make them stop looking
easy.
at me.
Yep. Gotta appease the masses.
Actually,
the proletariat will have their games.
Damn chocolate eggs. I actually only had two topics that I had penciled down to talk to you about, and neither of them have anything even remotely to do with wrestling.
No, it's probably for the best.
It did. I felt it was. Okay, so I'm about to put on.
Let's stay away from Judaism on this one. I think I've already pretty much run out my. I've pretty much run out my clock on acceptable.
Are you sure that's a Jew? This is the best time ever for you to go off on a whole Zionist tangent.
Yeah, I think I pretty much covered that one last time. There's only so much.
You're so desperate to have me on.
Cat's out of the bag now. Jew's out of the bag.
I'm just concerned Drew Gulak's gonna hear about it and beat me up, and I know he could. I mean, I like to pretend he couldn't, but I know he could, and I don't want him to.
It's actually a possibility.
Plus, he'll stop getting me fucking 7 or 9 or whatever presents every year, and I need those. He starts with like a pencil tip eraser, and he works his way up to a drawing pad, and it's nice. He's a nice guy.
Aww. So you celebrate Hanukkah with him?
Well, he's my doodlebug. What are you gonna do?
Aww.
Yeah.
That's adorable. And he actually he's been on the show several times.
Yeah,
so
he's great.
There actually is a chance of him listening and finding out about this. So.
Yeah, he's so awesome.
He really.
Speaking of people named Drew or some variant of that. Drew Gulak and I had the pleasure of Andy Sumner's company last evening. Do you remember Andy Sumner?
I do.
He was the other.
I do.
He was the other half of Team Andrew. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he's doing well. He's quite thick in his muscly way, and he's got a sort of a bouffant up in the front, sort of Jimmy Neutron kind of hairdo, and seems to be doing very well for himself. And still, I imagine, does a beautiful sunset flip, although he didn't show it off at the bar we all went to. So.
Did you ask?
But Andy Sumner, he's awesome, and I don't know. There's really no point to that story. But I'm drunk, and you're gonna have to expect that.
Oh, I do. I penciled in plenty of time for ramblings. It's okay. I learned. I learned from the last time.
I would hope as much.
Yeah. I realize how poor of a wrangler of you I am. I'm self-aware enough to be able to identify my faults and realize that, if you need blow me, Ben, when you wander off on tangents, I'm going to be wandering off too. And so there's no sense in even trying.
Yeah, you're an enabler.
I really
am. An enabler of non sequitur.
I really am. I'm like, why people keep wanting me to host shows is beyond me.
I just classify you as an overall
my congressman.
Don't you walk out on me, Zandig. Oh, that was perilously close to talking about wrestling. We gotta get back into something better. Which...
Yeah. Dangerous ground.
Dangerous
Starring
territory.
Ice Cube and that chick that was in Bedazzled. Hell of a film. Ice Cube didn't even try to do a fucking African accent. What are you doing? Oh, you emigrated to America and then you came back, but you have none of the accent that everybody else. You didn't even care. I mean, I guess after Boys in the Hood with that Jerry girl, you just don't care anymore. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
In, like, the last 13 seconds, I just decided that you need to do a show that is nothing but movie reviews.
Well, no.
All right.
I'm not going to do that. So, move on.
Okay.
Terrible at decision making.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're fired. If you haven't fired yourself yet, let me advise you from an objective standpoint. You're done.
Are you gonna write me a strongly worded letter that you think I should be let go?
We brought in some consultants, and both of the Bobs think that you need to go. I'm sorry.
Did you consult with your aides too?
Oh yeah, I consult with aides every day. Sad, tragic life.
Danny Havoc at the movies,
it's
created
like the
and
movie
shot
Rent.
down all in the same minute.
Damn it! You just blew his cover.
Yo,
I mean,
not cool.
Edit that out. You can edit it in post.
I'll beep it.
I'll re-say it.
Beep, and
Or we'll just have you talking and then my voice say, like, John Zandig. And we'll insert that.
yeah. Could you record some clips that we could just drop in? I had to do that because I was giving. Are you aware of Luke Hadley?
Yes, very much so. That's where I get half the videos I post.
Really, very much so.
Well,
Yeah, good for him.
Because of the videos.
I've spent weeks at the man's house. I'm not very much aware of him. He's all right.
I have probably seen every video that he has posted of you because I've posted them. So yeah,
that's right. I keep forgetting you run my website.
That's okay, hun. Sometimes
Which is strange because that's the only reason I did this interview in the first place. And yet somehow I keep forgetting.
It's okay.
No, anyway, Luke Hadley. There's a forthcoming DVLH release, which when you put those words together, forthcoming DVLH release, those three words can mean anything from like next week you'll be able to buy it to like 3 years from now it might be somewhere on DVD. But this is actually now coming out where it's like me and Devin Moore and Lucky 13, who people in the know may have heard are called the Nation of Intoxication. And we go to Wisconsin and we get drunk and we make asses of ourselves. And he's turned this into some kind of a feature-length film, which is tremendously regrettable. But for the DVD extras, I gave him some footage that I had on like a little foot camera where Lucky and I steal a turtle from a, we shall not call it by name, reptile facility. And it became Lucky's pet for several years, or, something like 2 years, I don't know, and then it died because turtles, I guess, don't do well when they're not properly taken care of. But anyway, we had to go through, and the whole crux of this incredibly far too long tangent is that we had to go through and do that like several times during the course of, like when I was giving him this footage, I was like, you gotta bleep out a whole lot of shit because we just, oh my God, we get drunk and we self-incriminate. We keep name dropping the place that we just stole the animal from. We're standing next to the sign. I don't know, like how big a deal stealing a turtle from, one of these roadside attractions is. Probably not. Probably there are no FBI special, units assigned. Like, I don't think Willem Dafoe would play the lead of a task force hunting down a turtle thief. But I'm just thinking it's probably not good to really just sort of, throw that out there willy-nilly. So we had to go through and do a lot of editing. Apparently, we are just terrible criminals. Our our alibi system is very flawed, and we really need to rethink it. So that's, that.
Are you going to offer an example of said terrible alibi system?
No, because I'll just fucking incriminate myself again. I'm not good at it. I just admitted that.
Well, I was hoping now that, he obviously...
She tried to get you.
But I will give you an out-of-context quote. Just last night, I had to say to a few of my friends, "Oh, shit, you're going to be able to piece this together. I just told you who I was hanging out with last night." Yeah, it doesn't matter. Fuck. Just last night, I had to say to a couple of my friends, you guys are fucking terrible at alibis. We are never killing a hooker together. And... And that's true. Apparently, all of the fucking low rent criminals I hang out with, not a one of them ever learned any goddamn tact. It's fucking ridiculous. Except Drew Blood. He probably knows how to fucking get away with murder. But that's neither here nor there.
I feel like I need to quit my position as your introductionist and rehire myself as your legal counsel.
You should probably be my editor. Like, my verbal editor, yeah. You need, everything that I'm about to say, you need to, hear it first and go, no, I would advise against that. I think you'd better not, sir. I think you'd better not.
I feel like it's going to be nothing but me standing next to you with my arms folded, shaking my head.
Yeah. Or little pinches under the arm. Oh, no. Ooh, I guess I should stop.
We'll start with
Just
that.
a nice elbow to the ribs. You know what? Let's move on to another topic.
We'll start with a rolled up newspaper. Work our way up to the squirt gun, and then then for the really bad stuff, that's when you get the pinches.
Oh, I see.
And to really hammer a home a full-on slap in the face.
Good luck. Better people than you have tried to train me and failed miserably. Well, I don't know they're better people than you, but many people have tried to train me. It hasn't gone well for any of them.
Were any of them Canadian?
I'm untrainable. Not that they ever divulged to me.
See, I feel like Canadian is always my trump card. / excuse. / excuse.
Right. Well, I would like you to know that in order to prepare for this this impending train wreck of an interview, I not only did I down a lot of whiskey, I also listened to Famous Blue Raincoat by Leonard Cohen 3 times, just to get myself in the right sort of frame of mind, I could have listened to multiple songs by Leonard Cohen, but that was the one I wanted to hear, so I heard it 3 times. That's where I was at.
See, you put more research into this than I did.
Mm-hmm.
Way to make me look bad.
And I've been watching a lot of Norm Macdonald live.
Oh, he's the fucking best.
Yeah, he really is.
Really
that
is.
That man needs to be at the helm of a major late night talk show in the very near future, or it's just a travesty.
It really is. Okay, so you've been knocking back whiskey. What kind of whiskey? Because this is critical.
Is it? Well, it's not Canadian Club, because that's garbage. I was always a fan of whiskey, especially bourbon whiskey, but I was never really sold on a certain kind, and it's a low rent. I don't expect anything highfalutin coming out of my mouth here. But J.C. Bailey and I became fast friends, and he's from Bardstown, Kentucky, the home of the Evan Williams Distillery. And he started bringing that over to my house when he used to stay with me, and I drank that, and then I liked it. And then when he died, I just sort of continued. I don't know that you can be an alcoholic in tribute to someone, but I continued consuming that particular beverage with an outrageous fervor in a sort of a strange tribute to him.
I think if anybody could at you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we used to have a lot of very, very good times drinking the old E-dub, as they say. And it takes me back to a pleasant time. 2007, 2008, these were good years. Drake Younger just texted me the other day, and we went on a trip down memory lane, and he closed it out by saying something along the lines of, "And every time I write a check, I think about how you taught me to use a checkbook when I was 26."
Aww.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really, touching, heartfelt.
That was heartwarming.
Mhm.
Aww. See, I like how we mix it up. There's a little rape, and there's a little, the little mushy stuff too. So everybody knows you're a rapist with a heart of gold.
It's a fucking roller coaster. It's a speedball in interview form. It's the way to be.
I seem to recall hearing that somewhere before.
Yeah, well, it's my favorite. It's my favorite analogy.
It's a good one.
For ups, downs, and anything else.
It's a good one. Okay, so I'm going to work my way into one of the two topics that I actually had to talk to you about. So brace yourself.
Yes. I don't wanna.
Okay, that was adorable. Stop it. Okay.
I'm moping.
All right. Aw, don't mope. Drink. I'm not an enabler at all, am I?
No, certainly not.
Turn that frown upside down. Get hammered. There you go. Okay, so this fits with the whole, several years ago thing, and it fits with the whole Luke Hadley thing. So.
Oh, well, don't talk about that cunt.
No,
I'm just kidding. Luke's a good dude. I can't hear his name mentioned without giving him shit, because it's requisite.
What you do. It is what one does. Okay. So, as such, as we've already mentioned, I have seen a lot of fucking videos of you. Because I update you.
Yep. You should really come up with something better to do with your life.
I really should. And actually, like 2 days...
that cancer's still to be cured. If you were wondering what might be a better use of it, I've noticed no one's gotten around to that.
It's like, well, I could... I sit here every other Monday going, well, I could cure cancer... Or I could update the website. Cancer's gonna have to beat
all
again.
these unsolved rapes that need to be figured out.
That's right. There's a fucking ton of them in this area.
There's so many colored pieces of string.
There's a glut of unsolved rapes.
A glut.
Just outside of Voorhees, New Jersey. It's fucking uncanny.
It's an epidemic.
Probably a coincidence that I live here. I don't know.
Probably. I'm sure it's total coincidence.
Yeah, Tony, of Tony. We've spoken of Tony. The gentleman, that's the fuck. I know Tony. I know Tony since he was knee high to a grasshopper. Shit. Yeah, Tony. All right. He's my employer / good friend / the guy who makes all the CZW merchandise, which you should buy at randomthings.co, because he'll probably listen to this because he doesn't have much of a social life, and he'll probably fucking want me to name drop. So anyway, he was telling me.
Show, so it's okay.
Good shit. He was telling me that it's really, really bad for your public image / your ability to profit in the business. Basically, it's just bad for anything to be associated with the word rape. And it would seem that that's pretty much all I've been doing since I got on this fucking podcast today. Is just fucking like Danny Havoc rape is going to be it's trending on whatever things trend on. It's going to be the most searched thing on Google. And fucking, there's gonna be a fucking 12,000 Tumblr pages by anonymous people stating that they were raped by me. I don't know any cops at my door. I can't have that.
Damn it! Now I have to superimpose Xandy over that.
Too late now. That's right. John Zandigan rape is going to be the second most thing because people get confused when they listen to a lengthy podcast and they don't remember exactly what they heard. I heard a couple names. Rape was definitely mentioned.
Exactly.
What should I Google? All right, Luke Hadley and weird videos and that fucking weird Wisconsin part of my life. And yeah, go ahead.
Holy shit! Oh, I'm so proud of you. You just wrangled yourself.
Yep, see? I can do that. I'm talented.
You've grown so much. God, it's beautiful. Okay. So, okay. This is the most hard-hitting journalistic question I've ever asked. So, be ready.
Jesus fuck.
I know, right? Okay. So, after watching many videos of you, I have one burning question that has has nothing to do with the donkey or your AIDS. How?
Okay, well, if it's a burning question, it's probably gonorrhea, and I didn't give it to you, so fucking that's that.
Fucking A.
I deny it across the board.
Good to know. Well, you just saved me a trip to the doctor's.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you, doctor.
I was just going to say, a little ointment, that'll all clear right up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. So, okay. How exactly does one determine that they are able to release a mousetrap onto their tongue?
That's just something you gotta try. I mean, I do say that everyone is able, unless, they are palsied or limbless or something like this. Or tongueless, I suppose. Tongue is a limb, I guess, so limbless might cover that. And I don't know, you're going to have to look at it. We're getting bogged down by semantics here.
I think you're just
you're not really. I'm getting bogged down by semantics, and you're just sort of standing by idly. But
as I want to do.
You just got to go with it. You just one day you just look at a mousetrap and you go, that looks like something I'd put my tongue in, and. And if that thought doesn't cross your mind, then you're probably not cut out for fucking whatever stupid shit it is that I do. Because I'm not even really sure anymore. That doesn't fall under the category of wrestling. That's just sort of jackassery on a wider scale.
Just a heads up, honey. That one line may in fact end up being a soundbite. That looks like something I'd like to put my tongue into.
I feel like if people start listening to this, and the first thing they hear is about rape and Megan's Law, and then they stop listening, but they're aware of the soundbite that fucking went viral, that looks like something I'd like to put my tongue into. This isn't just, it's only making me look worse.
I will creative editing. I got
you. Oral rape is like... That's rare, though. Like, that's for the other person's pleasure. If you orally rape someone, you're just weird.
Worst rapist ever.
Yeah, you're getting it all wrong.
Man,
here, let me show you.
You have no experience in this endeavor at all.
Terrible.
I'll show you the ways, kid.
Bad effort. Oh God. Well, I'm never getting elected to state senate, am I?
Well, not in America, but then you still have Canada. We're pretty cool with most of it. My mayor is a crackhead. Come on. You can come up here and be mayor of Toronto by October.
Beautiful.
It's just an option,
Hey, smoke crack or something?
Yeah. He's a drunk.
Yeah.
He's a drunk. He's a crackhead. Well, apparently not now. He went to rehab.
Oh, come on.
There were air quotes around rehab.
Yeah. So he's a drunk, he's a crackhead, so I'm 2 for 2. I'm wonderful. I'm fucking bang on for fucking politics in Canada. Here I come. I finally have a future plan.
There you go, So when you get tired of falling onto sharp things, you've got a backup plan.
That's right. You just retire to Canada for, politics.
Exactly. Be like, I'm just going to start running your biggest city. No big.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right. We hold our former pro wrestlers to a higher standard in American politics. You need to be Jesse Ventura You need to have successfully operated a Gatling gun and been a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus because of the tobacco you were chewing. And feather boas are helpful. You should have tried to kill Predator at least once. Anyway.
I assume you've got at least half of those covered.
Yeah, I think so. I took a bunch of PCP one time and thought I saw Predator in the trees. I ran for like $6. So, I mean, I didn't try and kill him, but I would have if he'd come near me, the cunt.
I was going to say, did you run away or run towards? Because that's key.
Nah, it's sort of a general
just
direction.
Aimless,
just an aimless, fearful run. What the fuck? But, man, I was like a bear. Predator tries to fuck with me, I'll either wear his head as a hat or get eaten by him. It's up to you.
Depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
And then you'll put
it's all about
Really,
perspective.
depending on how you look at it, it's one or the other.
Yeah, it's life is all about perspective. It's all sort of an MC Escher kind of thing. So maybe it's a hat, maybe I'm being eaten. Doesn't matter.
The important thing is you'll make a snazzy
Doesn't matter. It's very zen. It's fucking. You just need to fucking find what works for you. Find your center. Come in your chi.
and then make.
I'm probably combining a lot. of.
There's a lot of mixed metaphors happening.
Yeah, that's all Asian. I don't give a shit. That's fucking America.
The important thing is somebody makes a T-shirt of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's all about the merchandising.
Really is.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, so that was question 1, which you took on like a champ. Way to go.
Well, if we're being completely honest, what was question 1? I got lost somewhere along the road. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You swung a left. You swung a left. About the mousetrap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you just gotta go for it. Just fucking in for a penny, in for a pound, you know what I'm saying? Fucking roll with it.
There you go. There's a lot of things that I look at in life and go like, who was the first person to do this or to think this was a good idea to do? And yeah, that was the first thought I had the first time I saw that video, and I was just like, yep. There you go.
Well, I'm dead cert that I went the first, but I can also say that I was the first that I was aware of. I'd never seen anybody else do it and said, oh, I should emulate this cat. I just sort of saw a mousetrap and I was like, yeah, I'll lick that. You know. Oh, you won't? Well, I will. Fucking
I'll show you.
Kudos to me.
You think I won't do it?
Yeah, that's how things get done in this world. That's social evolution.
Wow. Yes.
Think Ben Franklin was the first motherfucker out there with a kite? No, he's just the first one who's like, I'll stand there while it's raining. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Have you considered standing in a lightning storm with a mousetrap on your tongue?
I haven't until now.
Right?
You're just full of terrible ideas.
I think is an incredibly bad plan. Like it's a terrible aspiration because you're really asking for trouble. But I think it would be really cool to be one of those people who've been struck by lightning like 6 times and survive. Like I don't think you should go out seeking that out. But I do think that if it's sort of like just sort of happened to you as you were stumbling through life, that'd be kind of a neat like thing to say. I don't know. It might not be worth it. I don't know. I don't know what the repercussions of 6 lightning strikes are, but I know there are people who have been repeatedly struck by lightning. I think it'd be kind of a cool thing to bring up at a party. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you work at the mill? Well, I got struck by lightning 6 times, but it's cool. No, whatever.
Well, you know which one's leaving with all the bitches.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I feel like with that suggestion,
the one who has a good job at the mill and can provide for them, not the fucking electromagnet fucking idiot who lives in his parents' basement because he can't fucking touch a fucking television without shorting it up.
Exactly.
I'd leave with the guy at the mill.
You all saw the movie Powder. Nobody wanted to be with Powder.
No, nobody wanted to be with Powder. I could barely sit through that movie. Hideous creature.
Would you like to give a brief review of it?
Fucking albinos. That's terrible.
Great, there goes my last demographic.
Yeah, that was who you were really looking to draw in.
Let's get,
we don't have enough shock white people.
Havoc, clean up crowd.
I'm Canadian. Come on, it's like,
You're Canadian. That's all you have.
That's all I have. I'm very pasty. I relate to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why Yolanda makes such a great co-host. It's such a stark contrast.
It really is.
Yeah. Clearly calling in from out of state.
Really is.
Now we go to Barbados for our guest anchor.
Barbados looks a lot.
Hi, Yolanda. You seem really nice. Sorry about this.
Yeah, she's in Philly, so she's a lot closer. She goes to CZW every month, so be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already got enough black people mad at me with Sabians.
I'm not going to ask, because...
No, you probably shouldn't.
No, not going to ask. Because I feel like I came really close.
I'm sorry, as he is now known, Black Cheese. Bulk cheese.
Bulk.
Bulk cheese.
Yes, bulk.
Bulk.
Not black.
Bulk cheese, now on sale at Costco.
It's a double entendre. He's quite muscly, and he's also dark-skinned. He's very tan.
Since somebody insisted on talking about wrestling,
Ooh.
apparently there's a show next month.
How dare you?
Apparently there's a CZW show next month. Apparently you have a match on it.
All right. Ben effing Gordon, do you have the button that cuts her off? Because I've had enough of this wrestling talk.
I wish.
You and I get to know each other. I've heard you're lovely. Of course, that was per your own description, but.
Listen, if nothing else,
I've never known anyone to lie to put themselves over when there was no confirmation available. That's never happened.
Oh, of course not.
All right, damn it! I will not have my own show.
And now, Wiggy, please. Wiggy, please, just tread lightly with the wrestling. You know it's really it's bad form. Bad form.
It's
yeah, that's not what we do here.
It's really not.
Yes.
And I'm not the person.
It's just rapists, and that's it. No wrestlers.
All I want to talk about is sexual misconduct and racism. All right, can we do that? Is it so hard?
Listen, let's just keep to the wholesome, family-friendly topics.
Yeah.
Like
if we could reminisce about some S Club 7, I'm cool with that too. But
all right. No wrestling.
But the second you mention professional wrestling, we're out of here. That's just crossing the line.
That enough.
That's where things get offensive, and you're like, that's it. I won't stand for this. Okay, all right. Okay, can we talk about your charitable endeavors?
My charitable endeavors?
Yes.
Well,
I have somewhere I was going with this.
We could, had I ever done it.
Well, see, don't forget your tireless...
I don't believe in charity. I believe in raising yourself up by your bootstraps, making a man out of yourself like Will Smith's uncle did in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Do you think Uncle Carl would have been the man he was if he had just been handed everything? No. He needed to scrape and claw from the gutter, make his way right to the top of Bel-Air, and then he could have some fucking shitty kids that nobody liked and didn't appreciate anything they were given, and then Will Smith could come along and tell them what cunts they were. With his fucking high-top fade and his colorful shirts.
I now would like to see this representation in a prequel version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. I'd like to see. I think that a far more interesting television show would have been a fucking Uncle Carl coming up from the ghetto. Whatever he had to do, you got to do what you got to do to make ends meet. You know what I'm saying? before the sweater, there was nothing but the laws of a gun and a knife.
Oh man, I smell a Hallmark Hall of Fame movie coming.
Yeah, fucking Ghetto Boys would have done the theme song and shit. It would have been awesome.
Really would have been.
My mind's playing tricks on me. The Uncle Phil story.
Oh my God! Yes, fucking yes.
Oh.
Bushwick Bill is by far the coolest black midget rapper I know. I feel like that's a pretty safe stance. That's a pretty safe stance to take. I think I'm making pretty homogenous statements now. Like, I can't get in trouble for that.
I'm so disappointed in you. Playing it safe.
I know.
Man. You've changed, man, in the last 6 minutes since you pissed off somebody else.
What happened to your morals, man?
I don't know. I need to stick to my guns, but
You do. Don't sell out. No, don't sell out.
I will try not to sell out.
Really? Really? Oh.
Well, I say it too, just not as much as you. I get a lot of flack for my fucking northern Midwestern accent here in Jersey, but by comparison to you, I'm fucking safe as houses.
You don't have an accent.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I moved to New Jersey, and everybody told me I did all the fucking time.
Well, you don't to me. So fuck everybody
Well,
else.
right.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, fucking cunt. I'm aware I may have a bit of one. Occasionally.
Just a little.
Occasionally.
It's certainly not prevalent over pretty much every word you say. No, certainly not.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Well, it's strange that you live further north, and people in the northern part of the Midwest, in the states down here, are generally regarded as having a borderline Canadian accent. However, you live further north than I ever did, and the people in Wisconsin especially have a much thicker accent than you do. So I guess southern Canada has a borderline Wisconsin accent? I don't know. You guys are just all trying to be Wisconsinites.
I am quite fond.
But I can see it, because they're a fun bunch of drunk German cheese-loving motherfuckers.
Well, I was going to say, I do really like cheese in drinking.
Yeah, Wisconsin gets a lot of flack because it's a bunch of fat Republicans. But it's also kind of the most fun place in America. Well, definitely the most fun place in the Midwest, by far. If you get into rural Wisconsin, every single conversation goes, "Oh, how are they biting today, Ed? Oh, not bad, not bad. What you suppose about the weather? Oh, I reckon it's going to be cold this weekend." But apart from that, if you stay in like the sort of outlying metropolitan areas, it's really a hell of a good time. So I highly recommend Wisconsin to anyone who wants to get stupid drunk and forget about a week or maybe 2 years, as I did. You could go for a fun weekend, because that's how it happened with me. I went out there. I was going to visit some relatives, and I was like, God, that was a great weekend. I just fucking hammered the whole time. It's bars, it's fun, people were likable, and I should move there, which is terrible. Terrible. You should never make a decision based on a drunken fun weekend. And then I moved there and forgot like 2 years of my life. But apparently time still passed me by, because I was 25 pounds heavier and 2 years older and a little more gray in my hair when I finally came to in New Jersey. I was like, oh, the fuck happened? Oh, God. There's a lot of cheese curds around my midsection.
Like it was all just some beautiful dream? Wow. I would know absolutely nothing about making terrible decisions whilst drunk.
No,
No.
not you.
No.
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 I would never imagine
Ever.
that of you.
No. No. Yeah. No.
Certainly not like it's your calling card or anything.
No. Come on.
I denote a hint of sarcasm in this Ben Gordon character. Feel as if he may not be entirely on the level.
As opposed to how brutally honest you just were. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Well, as the one who usually has to pick up the broken pieces of,
Ben, I made a terrible mistake. I had so much to drink and stop. I know where this is going.
No. Dude, that was the biggest lie ever told on this show. My stories start with, so I had so much to drink. There is never any mention of me claiming to have made mistakes.
If you don't own up to them, they probably don't happen.
True, no.
See, you know.
You're right. You're right. I'm like, do you realize what a mistake you made? She's like, really? What? Me?
Really? That's not how I recall it at all.
Of course not. You were drunk.
Exactly. It's not like I have the vaguest memories of talking to you last month at TOD or anything.
No. You seem perfectly coherent, and you were in fine form.
I feel like it was, except on the way home, which I was told happened right after I talked to you. My lovely co-host Yolanda and my co-host from another show, who I think you met there, Todd.
Oh yes, Todd of Champions of the Galaxy fame.
Yes.
That motherfucker made me print a fucking 6-color shirt, son of a bitch.
Right?
It's a pain in the ass. You know how you gotta line up so many fucking screens? Fuck you, Todd.
The shirts came out amazing, by the way.
I don't care.
Your pride in your work is a beautiful thing. Yeah, apparently they did. Well, not apparently. They decided afterwards that would be the most perfect time to record some live things for the show. And to me, I remember being perfectly coherent and sounding very much like I do now until I played back said recording.
It's amazing how you just don't sound the same on audio recordings as you think you do. So
No.
It's strange. It's something about the inner eardrum. I think the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup.
Right.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with alcohol.
Nothing.
It's simply
Nothing to do with the bottle of vodka I drained after the bottle of whiskey I killed that afternoon.
some kind of cochlear problem.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, I remember being extremely clear-headed and determined when I tried to prove to my friend Mike that you could, in fact, break through the plexiglass at a bus stop. But when the cops showed up, they claimed that I seemed to be somehow under the influence. I don't know, 3 or 4 efforts in. And
that doesn't sound like you at all.
That's a fucking Wisconsin. Wisconsin does it. The demon rum does things to you. And thankfully, my buddy Mike was a good pal. He talked him down and then threw me over his shoulder like some sort of a cave wench and dragged me off.
Cave wench?
But I'll get him home, officers. Just please don't club us. We've had enough.
Please don't beat us.
I haven't had enough. I'll tell you when I've had enough, you fucking bust up piece of shit.
That's a lovely reenactment.
Yeah, well, I was channeling memories.
And here's hoping Wisconsin police are not listening to this either. Wait a minute.
You know, for a podcast.
Look, anyone on the La Crosse Police Department from fucking La Crosse, Wisconsin, go fuck yourselves. That's what I have to say.
I was going to say, for a podcast, there's really a lot of people you want not to be listening to this.
I would prefer that no one ever hear this. If I had my druthers, this would get immediately transferred onto some kind of like totally archaic, like the equivalent, the audio equivalent of like 5mm or 8mm film, and then just transferred into a little box and then buried in a backyard somewhere. I think that's really the only thing to be done with it. I suspect, though, that as is usually the case with my druthers, I shall not have them.
You have unfortunate luck with your druthers?
My druthers never seem to. My ship doesn't come in. My druthers always seem to float away in a fucking toxic soup of alcohol and bad choices.
You should write Hallmark cards.
I think I really ought to.
Seriously. And you should draw them.
Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah, there you go.
Fucking A.
Fucking A. I brought that back.
Still waiting for that to catch on. I'm pretty sure it's going to catch on. I also am a devout believer that VHS is coming back, which is why I have like fucking 400 of them, and I refuse to throw them out despite my fucking significant other's great wish that I be rid of them.
Do you have Beta? Or is that where you
I do not have Beta. Yeah, that was actually a little before my time.
Okay. Thank God.
I don't know if it's before my time, but my parents never, engaged in any betaizing, so I have no experience with it really. That I will admit that may be a made-up word.
They've not familiarized themselves in the ways of the Betamax.
There you are. Better said. More eloquent. Thank you. Now, if you could just use my voice to dub that over so it sounds like I said it, and then you say the dumb thing, and I'll laugh at you like I'm really clever. That'd be swell. Thanks.
There's going to be a lot of editing for this.
Yeah. If this ever makes it to air, I'm hoping for an entirely different Danny Havoc to be heard from. I mean, an entirely different John Zandig. God damn it.
I can just imagine someone...
Told you I'm bad with alibis. Self-incriminating all the time.
I can just imagine someone listening, they're like, 47 minutes in going, oh, Danny Havoc!
Because it certainly would have been figured out by the...
I was wondering who this obnoxious loudmouth drunk was. Usually when I hear an obnoxious loudmouth drunk on a podcast, I stick around for as long as possible just to find out who they are.
Exactly.
I don't immediately turn it off because they're off-putting and terrible.
See, the problem is you're not off-putting. You're terrible.
How dare you say that?
You're terrible, but you're not off-putting.
All right. I'm very terrible.
Oh, yeah. I'm not just gonna bullshit you. I mean, you're not off-putting, but you are terrible. So you're terrible and entertaining. That's the thing.
Yeah, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, right?
Yeah. That's almost 50%.
It is almost 50%. Yeah. Well, listen, I can't be having math thrown at me. So
I can't be having math.
This isn't one of those logistical sort of podcasts, is it? Because I'm not doing any verbal Sudoku.
Yes, I lured you on here under the guise of rambling bullshit and avoidance of all things pro wrestling, just so I could throw math problems at you.
Fuck! I knew you were trying to teach me my timetables.
I was.
My mom got a hold of you and said, "That motherfucker needs to learn." Nearly 30 years old. For the love of God, would you please teach him to multiply? Oh, division's a fucking lost cause, but at least get him going the one way.
Yep. I've been in on it with your mom all along.
Fuck it. Fucking train may not come back to San Antonio, but at least send it up to Sheboygan.
Yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Because multiplication is north and division is south. That's the way of the world, and if you don't know that, then you shouldn't have your own podcast.
I know it now, so can I keep the podcast?
Except in Egypt, where the Nile runs the wrong way.
What about in Australia, where toilets flush backwards?
Well, they can all just get fucked, a bunch of convicts.
So I'm trying to figure out.
There it is.
I'm trying to figure out who's still listening.
His name is John. He's 46 years old. He's about 323 pounds. He has a fucking sort of a Mexican half stash. He's balding on top, but he refuses to do anything about it. And in spite of his age, he's acne-ridden. He's got 6X Danny Havoc shirt on, and he goes, "Are they talking about me right now?"
You just blew his mind, didn't you?
John, buy another shirt.
Yes, which you can buy from deathmatchdrunkard.wix.com.
Can you?
Yes.
Oh, that's neat.
Go back to sleep, sweetie. It's okay.
But John,
Seriously.
6X is like an extra. It's like an extra $11. So fucking pony up, son.
Yeah. Seriously,
That's like
John,
that's like printing a circus tent. I just can't be bothered.
Terrible, but not.
Yeah, I don't care.
I can't remember the other word. The other thing that
Off-putting?
you know. Off-putting. There you go. Terrible, but not off-putting. I'm glad one of us is listening.
Yes, I always listen to myself amid the cacophony of fucking horrible thoughts going off my misfiring synapses in my head. I usually hear when I'm blabbering and go, "Oh God, don't say that. Oh, it's too late now. Fuck."
Don't say it that. Wait, I just heard that. Shit.
Right. Don't say what you just. Ah, shit. That's not how it works at all, is it? What a dick.
Yeah. But you're an extremely entertaining and much loved dick, so.
No, not for long.
Despite your best efforts.
Give it time. Give it time.
Oh my God. Oh.
You'll rue the day you bought my T-shirt, John.
Oh my God. Okay, I actually got I got a tweet on the Twitter the other day. Okay, and actually let's clear this up for like the 17,000th time because I have to say this on every single show. The website.
I'm still imagining John just sitting at his computer with his headphones in the basement and looking quizzically at the screen like, are they really talking? No, it's probably just a generalization, right? But John doesn't know the word generalization, so he just thinks what that means in his head, but he doesn't know the word to put there. He's like, it's probably that's. Oh, and then his mom yells down from upstairs. Is John, the mac and cheese ready? Oh, I guess I'll have to finish this podcast some other time. I didn't like what they were saying anyway. And then John sort of waddles us. I'm sorry, I got lost. What are we talking about?
You are my favorite person to wander away in a conversation with. You really are.
Mm.
Yeah. I have no idea what I was going to say now. Oh, yes I do.
Good. Ha-ha!
Nice,
That'll show you.
Nice try. Yes, I got a tweet the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, the other day from a girl.
How's that work?
It's, well, it's...
You need an implant? I don't know. I've seen a lot of science fiction. Sounds Blade Runner-y.
No. No. And yes,
So the base of the spine, it plugs straight into the cerebral cortex. You get a slight ringing in your left occipital lobe in the rear, and you're like, oh, fuck, that's a tweet.
Yeah, that's exactly
I need to update my car insurance.
That's exactly how Twitter works. And you think...
see, people thought I was fucking out of the loop. I'm walking big-chested now.
You are. Yeah.
Got some swagger.
Swag? Put your swag on, boy. Okay. Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
So did I.
I don't like it. Don't say those words.
Let's just move on. Yes, which you can follow the Twitter for the website, which is at Danny Havoc's site. Follow the Twitter. It is run by me. It is not run by him. Are we clear?
Oh, is it not? That would explain why all the things I keep trying. That would explain why all the things I keep trying to post seem to go nowhere.
When you're sitting on your couch, you're thinking really hard, and then you say tweet, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, I could have sworn.
Oh, never mind. I had a moment.
That was rude.
I apologize greatly. Yes, so I received a tweet from a girl who tweeted me to say that she got yelled at by a Jesus freak, I believe in New Mexico, for wearing your shirt.
Good place for it. you're gonna get yelled at by a Jesus freak, no better place than New
I
Mexico.
I could be wrong. So do not hold that part of the story as absolute. But yes, she was yelled at for wearing your shirt, and said, and I quote, Jesus freak, told her that she was a piece of shit for wearing the propaganda shirt, and that Jesus created this world for her. And yeah, so I thought you should know that.
Did he her specifically?
But not for her.
Fucking hell. Well, find out what this girl's name is, because we should probably start hanging out with her. She's got the world. I mean, I want to I want to at least be your entourage.
You want to be one of her aides?
Fuck's sakes.
Yeah. So, apparently, the world was created for her, just not created for her to buy your shirt. Yeah.
Well, I'm inclined, if I have to pass judgment on this whole situation, which I don't, but I'm going to anyway, because I'm that type. My verdict would be that the Jesus freak.
Those were her words. Her words.
So kindly described.
That is a direct quote
not
from
you?
the tweet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say he was probably entirely in the right, and she is probably a blaspheming heretic who shall burn forever in the pits of Hades.
But,
and maybe she needs to get right with God. So that's kind of all I have to say about that.
But while she's burning in hell, she'll be looking great in the Danny Havoc shirt that she can buy at deathmatchdrunkard.wix.com.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you finished my sentence for me in the way that I intended to finish it, but,
I'm glad I made it back in time for the show.
I assumed I assumed you were aiming to plug shit, so, I learned, actually, during TOD day, not weekend, just the day, because it was really only the day that I was at perhaps a smidge inebriated. I learned during that there is no state of intoxication I can be in where I am unable to plug my shit.
Oh, well played. There is seemingly no state of sobriety that I can be in which I am able to sell merchandise. It's totally against my nature in every way, and I have such a very difficult time managing to remember that I have stuff to sell or that I have websites to plug. And this is why I need assistance, and I appreciate your stepping in for me in that regard.
No problem.
Also, there's all that just talking to the people, and there's some really cool people that come up and talk to you, and there's all kinds of cool people that come up and they're like, hey, I really enjoy what you do, and thank you, and that's awesome. That's reaffirming, that makes you feel good. But then there's always I don't know, 6 or 7 chuds that just crawled out of the sewer. They're like, hey, can I have your home phone number?
Can I smell your hair?
No, you can't. I just wrote a story where you died on the internet, but it's okay because it's just a role play. But I didn't write it as such, so people are going to contact you thinking you're dead. So just expect that. It's oh, all right, thanks. That's not a factual account. It's a thing that happened. It's a thing that happened, but it's not a factual account because those people would never come up to me and tell me that. If they came up to me and told me that, I'd be like, well, stop being fucking weird and doing that. It's troublesome. But they won't identify themselves. They'll just cause your friends concern and be like, I heard you were hospitalized in Tampa. Are you okay? I'm like, fuck, what am I doing in Tampa? I didn't even know. Nobody even told me I was in Tampa. Apparently too much. Yeah, maybe so.
Wow. Yeah, I've recently learned that Tumblr is the scariest place on earth.
Yeah. Well, that was all a long diatribe about a series of emails a friend sent me who was concerned about my health, and it led back to some weird shit. But I mean, each to their own. You know what? If you enjoy doing whatever you do, that's great. I don't care. Just make it clear that it's not real. I don't want people being concerned about my health because somebody thinks that it would make an interesting story arc for their blog
In
if I
Tampa.
died. Like that bothers me, because then I have real people who have real human relationships with me contacting me concerned. Like, I don't like that. But, you know, each to their own. People are going to do what they're going to do, so I've long since
Humanity.
given up on, you know,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, all of them.
Plus now, I mean, how excited are you going to be to ever want to go to Tampa?
Right? I feel
Right?
like that's
And
a
the thing
bad
is,
omen
I've
for
been
sure.
to Tampa. I was actually in Tampa with Ben, and it's fabulous there. And I'm a little sad for you now because, you know,
Yeah, it's a bit too humid for me. I like the crocodiles, don't like the humidity.
well, I was there in November. There
What are
was
you
no
gonna do?
humidity. Florida to me feels like hell. Feels like sticky hell.
Yeah.
You
I
and
don't know,
everybody
Florida,
else.
ugh, no. I would never
Right.
go back. It was nice once. Would never go back. Ugh. I'm Canadian.
You would
Old,
definitely go back.
old people go there. Old people go there to ease into death, so that they won't feel like they're really missing out on that much when the icy grip of death finally they slip into that
I
sweet
think
nothing.
they're just excited for anything icy down there. Uh,
And Wiggy, you would definitely go back, especially if you got invited to a certain
oh,
magical
fuck yeah, I'd go
place.
back to Disney World.
Exactly. But you wouldn't go
Well,
back to Florida.
Can they move Disney World to Canada? Because that would work.
Nope. Hell no. What are you kidding?
I forgot. I live.
They're going to take the best part about Disney and the fact that it's nice all the time,
Yeah.
and they're going to move it to Canada, where it's the exact
I've never-
opposite.
I've never been. I would maybe go to Disney
There
if it
you
were in
go.
Canada. I like Canada.
Suck it, Ben.
I don't like everything. Everything south is hot and gross, and everything north is like rocky and pine trees and fucking halibut fishing, and that's it's fucking comfortable climates. I'm okay with that. Now, Ben effing Gordon, professed son of Abraham, are you comfortable with going to Disneyland, a park created in the dreamscape of professed anti-Semite?
There's a lot of
Or
Jews
is
in
it- or-
Florida, so it's really
yeah,
kind of a back and forth there.
It's kind of it's like a moral victory. It's kind of like yeah, well, I'm gonna enjoy it anyway, and then just fucking throw it in your face.
Exactly.
You fucking
Besides, there's
Henry T. Ford fucking associate
I'll
hate
show
monger.
you, Walt. I'll show you.
listen, you can't move Disney to Canada because I don't think I really feel like I'd be conflicted eating poutine out of a Mickey Mouse shaped helmet.
I think.
Well, it can't be any worse than the poutine that Canadian McDonald's
That
does.
isn't a.
Oof.
I wanted to say abomination. It always came out abortion. I feel either word is appropriate.
It is.
It's somewhere in the middle. It's an abortion nation.
It's abomination.
Abortionation.
An abomination. Either way.
Abortionation of
Either way.
intoxication. Oh, God.
There you are. See, that's a new T-shirt. Thanks. I was having trouble coming up with a new idea, but why not alienate even more people and drag us further out to the edge of
Feel free to
acceptability?
put. You can pin that one on me.
I mean,
That's cool. It's if I could have a shirt, that's all I ask. I would like an abortionation of intoxication shirt.
Well, it's ironic that this comes up because there was a much talked about nation of intoxication design that never really came to fruition. That was going to have a bunch of drugs and alcohol represented in their various ways and say "my body, my choice."
That's fantastic.
It kind of ties in. Yeah, we really liked it. By which I mean I really liked it, and Tony pointed out that we'll probably sell about 3 of them because nobody would ever wear this out in public because people are fucking pussies.
I would
these
wear
days.
that fucking thing everywhere. Man.
Yeah.
I enjoy the fact that I...
So, abortionation, my body,
Yes.
my choice. New T-shirt coming soon.
Well,
Available on DannyHavoc.drunkard.something.tripod.something.
The important thing,
I don't
honey, is
know.
that you tried.
Available on whatever
and
the fuck what he said.
And I am going to tweet that from both my own Twitter and from the website Twitter. Abortionation of intoxication. We are going to get that bitch trending. Yeah.
good luck with that.
I'll be expecting a pain in my right rear occipital lobe any moment.
Yep. So later on, just think really hard, yell out tweet, and it'll appear. And it shall be so. Actually, as soon as I said that, my phone went off, and that was a little unsettling. just a brief moment, I was like, oh, shit. Okay, all right then. Yeah. I enjoy the fact that I have a podcast where things happen like, speaking of abortion.
Yeah, that's a good segue.
No,
you really
you
can't
really
get better
can't.
than that.
Really.
He's absolutely right. We've come all the way from rape to abortion, and I feel like we couldn't have done it in a more nonsensical, fucking offbeat, completely ridiculous, segue-free kind of.
I kind of think, yeah. I think we've kind of run our course. We've alpha and omega'd, and yeah, I think we're pretty much we might be done.
You seem in a very depressing manner.
Well, we had a good run.
Really, there's nothing to be ashamed of, guys. We all tried, and it's kind of like when your fucking team has fucking the state playoffs, and I don't know if you have these things because you don't really. They have the playoffs and it's the homecoming, and then you lose in front of your home. Everybody's like, it's like, all right, well, we all tried. Nothing to be ashamed of, guys. But everybody knows there's really something to be ashamed of. Like at least 3 of the 15 kids on the team are gonna go home and I don't know, OD or cut their wrists or something. I don't know, something bad's gonna happen because you lost the game, and what the fuck. I got kind of dark. Sorry.
There's so much on this show that
I didn't even fucking play sports in high school, so that's just how I imagine it happens. I was under the bleachers taking drugs. They all looked really dreary when they lost, though. I felt like it surely must have been the case.
See, it's like the best part of this is 2/3 of this podcast have absolutely no shame. So, we'd probably feel some about some of the way the show's gone, but, nah. Whereas Ben is going to carry the stigma of this for the rest of his life.
Well, he's Jewish, not Catholic. Jesus Christ, he can get over shame.
This is true. I give less of a fuck than you probably do, Wiggy.
That's saying something.
You're chosen. You don't even have to try, man. I have to be good. you're just fucking. You were fucking genetically predisposed to heaven.
And you're doing it again.
Listen. I walked through most of my life without a care, and Heaven's calling my name one of these days.
I like the fact that you just said you've been trying to be good and get into heaven. Okay. No, not
I
you.
don't really have to try per se. What is this
you.
try you keep saying? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, are you implying somehow that I don't seem as if I've been trying?
No, not at all.
I dare say I've put a very good face on this.
I'm implying that you have a very broad definition of the word try. Or possibly of the word good.
Yeah.
Either way.
Listen.
Right.
He's trying. He's a man of action. He didn't get on that Megan's Law list without trying.
There you go.
That's right. Attempted rape? What is that? That's from pussy. You either get it done or you go the fuck home. That's the speech. Look, that's the speech my coach gave me after we lost the big game. And that's why I became a rapist. See, there's the fucking Lifetime story right there, all summed up. There's your TV movie in a nutshell.
Is an awesome name, and yeah, we're set.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we could get that chick that played the Pink Ranger, that would be nice. She said no. Well, either way, I don't care. She's always good for a Lifetime TV movie. I don't remember what the actress's name was. The character's name was Kimberly, I think.
I've never seen an episode of Power Rangers.
Yeah. Well, you go to hell, sir.
I figure that's really the one thing in my life that's sending me straight there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you were fine before, but
the most shocking admission on this show. But he said he's a rapist. Oh my God, she's never seen Power Rangers? Stone her.
Episode 309, in which a shocking revelation comes to light.
John Zandig is on Megan's list.
Wiggy does not know the Pink Power Ranger's name.
Exactly, John Zandig's on Megan's list, and Megan's
How
law,
could you?
and you're an abortionist, and
it's fucking 2014. South Park is on. All that shit's tame. You never seen Power Rangers? Heretic.
I'm gonna get stoned the next time I leave my house, aren't I?
Why do you think the Green Ranger was so evil?
Die, heathen scum.
God, I alienated the Power Ranger demographic, didn't I? Shit.
Oh my God.
They were the last ones we had left. We don't even have John anymore.
No.
Pissed him off. Good going.
Now, fucking, why did he? Well, there was fucking macaroni salad upstairs. He had to go. We lost the fucking albinos. We lost every goddamn religious group. Now we've got the Power Rangers fans.
Australians.
Anyone who's ever known a high school football star that killed themselves, they tuned out a couple minutes ago. Oh, too close to home. Fucking Australians, they were never welcome in the first place. Fucking the fuck they thought they were doing here. Get the fuck.
God, yeah. I think
Send me your koalas and go lose a football game, motherfuckers.
Man, that's gonna be my new go-to insult.
Should be. It'll make a lot of sense to anyone.
I think that and fucking A. They will both catch on. I will see to it. I will fucking see to it that those two phrases catch on. Send me your koala to go lose a football game.
Well, I think you better head.
Take that. Hey, did you... Oh, yeah, see, okay, you were on before Christmas. Did you get the coked up koala with the Gatling gun for Christmas you were hoping for?
No, why do you think I'm so salty now?
God,
Why do you think I'm so down on the fans? You know, it's just like, we broke... You come on, it's just salt in the fucking wounds. You're like, oh, we broke ratings. It was one of the most highly regarded podcasts we ever did, but nobody could be bothered to get off their ass and go find a fucking koala, stick some fucking drugs up its nose, some straight Colombian pure cocaine, and then put it in a fucking box. Buy a gun that's highly illegal if you don't have the right permit, stick that in the box with it, get them all fucking shaken up, and then send it to the address I didn't give you. What the fuck kind of fans do I have? God damn it.
Makes you just... that's the kind of shit that makes you lose all faith in humanity.
I quit. I quit. I'm done with this whole wrestling. I mean, I only got into it for that one purpose in the first place. Nobody can be bothered.
And I mean, come on. You beat around the bush for a number of years, dropping hints, but you flat out asked for Christmas.
I did, yeah. I was trying to play humble, you know. I was a small town kid from Iowa, just trying to make good, but you know, eventually, I want my comeuppance.
Oh,
fucking hell. My high school fucking guidance teacher, Mr. Swain, told me, well, what do you want to do with your life? I said, I want a marsupial with a large-scale chain gun full of Peruvian, Colombian cocaine. And he said, well, independent deathmatch wrestling, that's the ticket for you, son. And he slapped me on the ass, and I was on my way. Here I am 10 years down the fucking road, and nothing's come of it. About ready to give up.
It's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
It is. It's a bad story. It's a very
Tear to
tragic.
my eye. Several tears to my eye. That is...
Yeah.
Wow.
Like an Indian who's seen litter. Or an Indian who's run out of alcohol. That was racist.
But yet equally as tragic.
Anybody running out of alcohol is pretty tragic.
I'm thinking that we don't have a large ho-chunk population tuning in either. So.
Not anymore, Danny. Thanks.
If we do, they're done for. Not anymore. Well, you're the one who fucking keeps bringing me on. I said it was a bad idea in the first place.
It's the best.
I gave you the same speech I give everyone who tries to book me for the first time. Well, it would be great for me, but for you, I'm going to be honest with you, it's probably not a good idea.
You are the best worst idea.
Well, thanks. I'll take that.
As a compliment.
Yeah. I didn't say I'd take it as a compliment. I just said I'd take it. I'll take it. Whatever.
Whatever.
It could be a fucking bouquet of roses or a fucking spike paddle up the ass. I mean, I'll take it. Whatever. No, let's not use that quote. Let's. That's another one of those. As soon as it came out, I'm like, don't say that.
Oh, God.
All right. Anyway, as much as I very, very much love non sequitur conversations and meandering nonsense, and as much as you are very much the counterpoint to me in terms of holding up these conversations, the liquor store is going to be closing in about 25 minutes, and I've long since run out of booze, and I should really amend that terrible
The only
situation.
thing sadder than an Indian with no booze is
I really should.
no booze.
Goddamn right.
I cannot be responsible for that face being sad. That's... No.
No. Well, think of all the white man has done to me.
Right? They stole your land. They...
Yeah, the pox blankets. Always with the pox blankets.
This way.
Every time I go to my mailbox, there's a... Would you like some blankets from the U.S. government? It's amazing what you can ship ground these days.
Yet no coked up marsupials. Man, the hypocrisy
No, right?
of your government just astounds and saddens me.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm defecting.
If you defect to Canada, bring Disneyland with
Yep.
you.
Okay. Well, I think we discussed before. I was going to be an expatriate to Reykjavik, but it's somewhere in my top 7. So halibut fishing in Nova Scotia is somewhere on the list of possible new trades.
Nice.
So
That works.
You never know.
This went way longer than I was anticipating. Which...
yeah.
It will.
That'll happen.
Which is very much a tribute to how much fun you are to have on. And if should you ever decide to break your newfound resolution of never doing another interview,
it was a nice idea. I already failed at it, but it was a nice idea.
But if you ever decide to fail at it again, come back, because you're
All right.
fun.
Well, I thank you, and it is
And
enjoyable
you
to
are
chat.
you're fun. You're fucking fun, and for once, I'm not like the person that everybody's going, oh God, they're letting her talk.
No,
Oh,
that
well,
will never
given.
stop.
It's good to know. Okay, well,
He's always handy for an insult or a quick
pretty much
quip.
my best friend, so. Yeah.
A pithy
If
soundbite.
anybody's going to insult me, it's going to be him.
That's why I
to
make the big
insult
bucks.
me.
Well, Dan, I must say I'm very glad that you have come out of retirement to make my acquaintance over the phone and tell me how lovely you are. And I've come to the conclusion you're probably not entirely wrong. So it's been a pleasure, and I hope you have fun in heaven. And I will be burning forever, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Well,
So,
it was very cool to make your acquaintance as well, and I also had a great time. It was very much fun.
Keen. All right. Well, I'm off to the liquor store. You all be good, and thank you very much for pretending that I'm of importance. So I will talk to you some other time.
Thank you very much for stopping by, John Zandig.
I